Hello everybody, today we are going to train loops and functions. We're going to write a program that will be able to calculate the area of a circle, of a square, of a rectangle and triangle. So first let's create, for example, a menu. So we're going to send to the output some messages like enter the option, and you can choose from the calculation of the circle and etc. Right? So let's create a function that will initiate that thing. So void init menu. Right now I will copy that because we need a definition of function also, and here we'll just send to the output something like enter option. And now I can do something like circle, for example, 2, 3, 4, and the square, the rectangle, and the triangle. Right? And now we can just invoke that function here. And as you can see, now we build and run that program, and we are being asked for that guy. So let's take him. So I'm going to create for example, a variable like int choice, right? And we will take that guy here, so cin choice, and we'll use the choice to show something like that guy or that guy or that guy or that guy, the calculation of that guys, right? We'll ask for another numbers there. So let's create a function that will represent a decision that will our user choose, right? So for example, I will create next function that will return void, and I will call it menu decision, and I will copy that guy, and here we'll have the definition of the function, right? And I think that we should take here the choice. So choice is integer, so we need to do something like that here and here, and we can call it also choice here. And we'll switch the choice, so we are going to do something like that, switch choice, and here we can do cases, right? Case 1, case 2, and of course we have to use the break statement here also, so like that. And we have 2 more cases, case 3 and case 4, and the default. So we're going to send you didn't choose any of the option from above, right? For example, like that. And okay, now we should create a program that will, for example, calculate the area of a circle. So for example, like that, cout enter the radius, right? Because we need the radius of the circle to calculate it. Now let's create here double R variable, and let's create a function that will count the area of circle. So let's call it, for example, area circle, and we'll take the radius here, so one double variable. And now what? We'll do something like that, area of circle, so sin R, and area of circle will be sent here. We can do now something like that. Double result equals pi, the number pi, and 2 raised to the power of 2, right? I mean r raised to the power of 2, right? Radius raised to the power of 2. So we should also notice that the pi is constant, so we can create it here, for example, like that: constant p, constant double pi, and do something like that. Or we can do it also that way: hash define pi 3.14. Okay, we can do it also that way, and now we can use it like that. We can send, for example, to the output something like the area of a circle equals result. And you can add here like that radius is like that. And here the equal sign, for example, and you can return the result also. So now let's try it out. Oh, sorry, should do it of course that way. And we are choosing the circle, enter the radius, so I'm going to enter here, for example, the 2, and as you can see, the area of a circle that the radius is 2 is, as you can see, 12.56. When we type, for example, 1 and then again 1, it is 3.14, so everything works fine, as you can see. Great. So we can now create other areas. We will need the variable for sides, for square, so for example A, for rectangle 2 sides, so A and B, and for triangle we will need also the height of triangle. So we need variables like that, and now we can just copy that guys here like that, and we'll just ask enter the side of a square, and like that, area of square, area of rectangle, area of triangle, enter the width and height of a rectangle. So seeing A, and we can do something here look like that, B, so we can get from the input 2 variables like that, enter the height of a triangle, and here we can do it that way, right? Okay, and now we should create all the functions like areas, square area, so maybe let's do it that way. We need 4 functions, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it will be faster when I just copy that, right? They look almost the same, so it will be faster to do it that way. And now area of square is right. Here we'll need 2 double. Other things are okay. Now let's copy that guys here And let's create a definition of that function. So like that. And now area of the square is just a multiplied by a. So the area of a square that side is a equals the result, right? And now area of rectangle, so a multiplied by b, the area of a rectangle that's first side is a, and the second side is here b, equals the result. And now the triangle, so it is the 1 divided by 2, but remember that we need to do it that way, multiplied by a and multiplied by h. We need to also, of course, the base of our triangle, so we need to do it that way. So, and here enter the base and height of a triangle. Now everything should be fine. Let's check it out. Can we build and run it? We need to send here, of course, 2 variables. And as you can see now, we can choose, for example, the square, and I will type the 2, so it's 4, everything works fine. Now I will choose the rectangle, and I will do like something like 2 multiplied by 6, so it is 12, everything works fine. Now the triangle, so for example 2 multiplied by 4, and it is 8 by 8, but 8 multiplied by 1 divided by 2 is 4, so everything works fine. Okay, and you might be like, hey, but our user has to run this program again and again and again if he wants to, for example, calculate more than one time, right? It's very, very time consuming, and it's not good. That's why we'll use here loops. We can do something like that, for example. Ask after the decision if he wants to continue the program. So cout, do you want to continue the program? Yes or no? Like that. And then we'll take him here, the decision, so character for example like that, and let's take that guy here, and we will use the loop here like that. Do everything in the loop, so at least once, while the continuous is equal to yes or continue equals to yes in the using the uppercase, right? So right now we'll notice that when I take, for example, square and I type 4 here, I can now type yes. As you can see, again, we can choose from the menu something. If I type no or anything else, for example, key, the execution will be stopped of our program, right? Great. But it wasn't readable after a time, so we could do something like that here. System clear screen. And now you'll notice something like like that. For example, the triangle. And now when I type yes, as you can see that everything is being cleared on our screen. And again, after the system clear screen, we have the initialization of menu. So that's good, right? Now I can type again, for example, that guy, and now I will type no, and the execution stops. Great. But what will happen when we do something like that, for example? And now I will type something like that. As you can see, the program has stopped. But if I had something like here, for example, like that, so we are being asked for something after that guy. Now like that. We weren't asked for the choice here, right? And again, when we do something like, for example, that, as you can see, we are being asked again, do we want to continue the program? And that's good because the default option here was executed. But look at that. When we do something like that, we weren't asked at all if we want to continue the program or not. We were asked, but we didn't have a chance to choose anything, right? And now we will, in the next lesson, know how to validate things like that. Right now, as you can see, it's not good, but don't worry. We could also add to our program something like that as a training. For example, when I type something like that and I type now here key, I would like to be asked again, do you want to continue the program? Because the only option that you should choose here is the yes or no, right? So we could do something like that, for example. Again here, do while, and here we can do something like that. While count is not equal to yes, and in the same time continue is not equal to yes in uppercase, and in the same time continue is not equal to no, and in the same time is not equal to no, the lowercase, please keep doing that 2 lines here, okay? So when I now do something like that and I type key, as you can see, I'm going to be asked again. When I type yes, everything is being repeated, okay? When I type no, the execution stops. But what will happen when I do something, for example, like that, more characters here? As you can see, all characters were being put to the continue variable many times, and each time they were not the y or n. Now I will do something like that. As you can see, the last character was yes, and our program was continued. But look at that. When I do something like that, you'll notice that our program has stopped, but the last character was n. And we'll talk about it in the next lesson. We'll use that thing. and we'll try to validate our program. Okay, that's all in this lesson. Thank you very much.